Welcome to another Q&A voiceover, guys. Today we're going to be talking about online arbitrage and Amazon, and I'm going to be specifically answering the questions for Amazon Online Arbitrage Walkthrough 2018. That video is a video I've done previously on where I basically take all the stuff that I packaged that Amazon has basically sent me, I repackage it back up and ship it into FBA. So if you want to check that video out, drop it in the description below, and I'll also drop it up in the right-hand corner right now. Now, if you didn't check out yesterday's video, because I did say this is part 2, yesterday I basically answered all the online arbitrage questions that were pertaining to the videos previously where I was sourcing products for this actual arbitrage, so on coupon sites. If you haven't checked out yesterday's video, I'll drop that as a card up in the right-hand corner, and I'll also drop that in the description below. So, without further ado, let's just jump in and start answering your questions. So, Ricardo Diaz, and I have a bunch of these guys, so we're just going to do rapid fire until the end. Hopefully this will go fast. I want to answer your questions as always too. If you have a specific question, obviously pertaining to arbitrage, but not just pertaining to arbitrage, or it could be anything in general, entrepreneur overall, making money online, e-commerce, marketing, anything like that, anything that I teach or that I'm involved in, I would love to answer it for you. Drop it in the comments section down below. So, Ricardo Diaz says, wouldn't this be considered drop shipping as well, with just an extra step of the things coming to your house and having you to ship products into Amazon? Arbitrage and drop shipping are two different business models, but if you, with exactly what you're saying, the only thing that differentiates drop shipping is you don't actually have to physically touch the products you're facilitating. So if you would prefer to look at it as drop shipping with the added step of you facilitating it physically, by all means, then you can do that. But they are two different business models, but it really depends on how you want to perceive it. You could look at it that way if you want to. JD12321 says, hello again, Brian. Just wondering if you could offer any information or advice regarding prep centers. Would you have any that you recommend or any info on how to use them? There are none specifically that I recommend. I don't use prep centers myself because I live in the United States and because I just package them all up myself. I go back and my parents have an entire gym at my house where I used to live when I grew up. So I go back there and I work out there every single day. And so obviously I live in an apartment with my girlfriend, so I don't get 1,000 boxes delivered to my house, or to my apartment, but I get them delivered to my parents' house, and I also get them sometimes delivered to my apartment if I want to. And then I go back and I package them up every couple days. I pay my little sister to collect them for me, so she gets a cut too, and it really helps everyone out. So she is in school right now, and she gets like $50 every 2 weeks to basically just pick the boxes up and bring them inside. So what I basically do is I'll work out, and then once I see that they're all they've basically just built up, I'll ship them all back in. I don't use Prep Center. I got a little off tangent there. I don't use Prep Center. I know a lot of people in the course do, though. A lot of the people from India use Prep Centers, and some of the people from Canada use Prep Centers. I'm sure there are other people that use them as well, but I don't have any specific, experience with them. So I could give you advice, but I don't know how good my advice would be because I never actually tried it. But the good news is a lot of people are doing it, so I know that is very, very possible, and I believe in you, man. You can do it too. Kurt Blyman says, are you not having issues selling the items that have only one? Are you not having issues selling items that have only one other seller, i.e. the seller is the person whose branded product you're trying to sell? I don't know what you mean by this. No, I don't have any issues with that. You should be dropping your price slightly as soon as it's received, therefore taking the buy box and making the sale very, very fast. If you're doing it right, they 9 times out of 10 won't even notice that you stole their listing for half a day, and you should sell fairly quickly. Where'd that go? Edge Cerisano says, hey Brian, thanks for all the free advice, man. Awesome. I want to start online arbitrage in Germany. Any differences from you? Okay, so I know where this is going to. Same as yesterday when I answered the questions for the Philippines and a couple of the other countries. You can do it on so for you specifically, there's an Amazon Germany marketplace. You can do it on that if you want. You have to find coupon products on that. It's a little bit different, obviously. Or you can do it on the United States like we're doing. You just need a prep center, and there are a lot of prep centers that can help you. I believe they just take a 20 cent to $1 cut per product. So you have to just vet your products a little bit differently. Say I recommend in my course, obviously, to look for a $10 profit margin per product. So if you're buying, excuse me, almost had hiccups there. If you're buying 10 products, then that's obviously an overall profit margin of $100, but you might be looking for specific products that are, you know, $11 profit if that's your end goal, because you have to account for that extra 20 cents to $1 per product, obviously. So it's a little bit different, but you can just use a prep center. It's really, really easy. Jeff Turk says, Brian, does your course explain why to have multiple browsers? If so, could you please provide a link? This was a week ago. I believe I probably provided a link for you. If not, you could always grab it on my website. I'm not trying to sell you guys any courses in this video, so I'm sure if you watch this a lot, you know where my website is and you can get there. But yes, I explained why to use multiple browsers and how to. The reason that you use multiple browsers is to have multiple accounts. It's really simple, and anyone can really do it. JD, oh, another one from JD. JD1234 says, hi Brian, and thank you so much for this awesome video. I'm wondering if online arbitrage would work for me being in Australia. Yeah, same as what I just said for the Germany guy and the Philippines the day before. You can do it on the Australia Amazon marketplace with coupon sites there, or you can do it on the US one. The difference is that you just have to use a prep center if you're doing it outside the US, because obviously you can't receive them and then send them back into the US. So you'd have to buy them on the US marketplace with a US account, get them shipped to a US prep center who would then take a percentage, a cut of each product that you get, you know, delivered and packaged back up. Sometimes I've heard people from the course say it's 20 cents per product. I've also heard people from the course say it's $1. So I'm assuming that the margin that they take is 20 cents to $1 per product. They make money, you make money, you know, and you barely don't you literally don't have to package anything up, so it's cool for you. But yeah, you just have to use a prep center. Matcha Baez says, thanks so much. At 142, you buy from Vipon, and then what? Do you wait till you receive what you bought and then you list it? I'm an Amazon seller, but sorry, I'm a little confused. Yeah, so you buy it and then it comes to your house with this specific business model. You buy it with this arbitrage model. It comes to your house. You repackage it up, ship it into FBA, which is exactly. If you guys need to know how to actually physically do this, this entire Q&A is pertaining to the video in the description, which is let me find out what that title is again. It is Amazon Online Arbitrage Walkthrough 2018, and that is literally me walking you through how to send them into FBA and how I do it myself. So yeah, you basically get them delivered to your house, you package them back up, you ship them back into FBA, and Amazon sells them for you. Now, obviously, you have to drop your prices when they're received, but that's really, really easy. Raf Delgado says, why aren't you able to purchase an item that has been purchased before? You are, it depends. Sometimes you are, and sometimes Amazon stops you from doing that because it's just there, it's on their marketplace. But the good thing about that is like I said on yesterday's video, if you, you know, just save the URL of that product and save your coupon code, Amazon will reset your account. Like you can't buy the same, a lot of times you can't use a different coupon for the same item. It's a way that Amazon protects sellers. So if you just save that coupon code and you save the URL and you go back and try to, and you can save them all, you know, just build a list in a Word document, wait a week or two, go back and use all those coupon codes on those URLs, you'll be able to buy all those products. It's just within a certain time frame, you can't use another coupon code on that actual product. Not always that way, but Amazon, I've noticed, does that from time to time. James Neal says, what is the name of the second site? I can't see it. Is it Snag Shack? It's Snag Shout. So SNAGSHOUT, snagshout.com. Marty Mix says, hi Brian, great content. You buy these products and then you send them directly on your Amazon. Yep, exactly. I buy them and they come to my house, like I said before, ship them into Fulfillment by Amazon or Amazon FBA, and they sell them for me. You know, the only thing that you're basically doing is you're buying them from coupon sites, you are repackaging all them back up and sending them into FBA, and then obviously dropping your price. It's really, really simple, but you can make a shitload of money doing it. And I do it myself still, just because it still makes me like $5,000 on the side every single month. But you know, there's a lot of other people that really scale this up and make full-time incomes that I know of. So Jimmy J says, Jimmy G looked terrible, by the way, yesterday, guys. Obviously today is 9/10, so you're watching this next weekend, but Jimmy G did not look like a franchise quarterback yesterday. Just throwing that out there. Go Birds. Jimmy J says, one question, if I want to go through with online arbitrage, should I get Amazon seller, personal, or business? You can do either one, Jimmy J. I would recommend business if you plan on scaling at all, because when you get a personal account, they take a percentage of each of your sales, I believe. It's been a while since I've had a personal account. When you get a business, you do pay a flat monthly fee, I believe. However, that's taken out of your Amazon. It's debited from your Amazon account's earnings. And on top of that, if you're selling and scaling this to any degree, I'm not talking like thousands of items here. I'm talking like 30 items, maybe 20 items. If you plan on selling more than that in a month, which you should be doing if you're scaling this at all, the business will pay for itself 10 times over, because you just pay that fat fee. Oh my God, pay that flat fee, and then they don't take a percentage each time. Obviously, not counting the FBA fees. So trust me, if you're scaling, go with business. Brittany Allen says, found your channel today and subscribe because of the excellent content. Thanks. What course should I start with as a beginner for making money online? Because I've added this to the arbitrage, I would obviously suggest arbitrage. It's probably the one that is the most beginner friendly and the one that you can make money the quickest, I would say. But there's a lot of great ways to make money online, so it's kind of open-ended, but obviously online arbitrage in the way that we're talking about it right now would be a great way to start. Fitzgerald Mizrael says, are there that many stupid people out there that would buy products with 1,000% markup? Don't they do some research before buying so they can find the same deals? No, a lot of people won't. If you're talking about the people on Amazon, no, because a lot of people won't look for that. Think about it. Every single time you go out to a store, are you really gonna hop online or go and shop around to see every single purchase that you make? We're not talking about like a huge furniture purchase or like a $3,000 TV 3D TV or something where you're gonna shop around and see if there's a better deal where you can save a couple $100. We're talking about like $10 to $30, which is right in that range of like gut shot purchases where people don't really analyze the pros and the cons. It's just kind of a split-second decision where they say, oh, I want this. Okay, it's an emotional reaction, because people buy based off emotion and use logic and reason to justify. I'm getting a little bit off tangent here, but no, most people, believe it or not, don't do research, and I don't really blame them. I wouldn't do research for a $10 to $15 product or $10 to $30 product. Captain Deadpool oh my God. Captain Deadpool says, can't you use Jungle Scout to tell how many times a month? Yes, you can. Jungle Scout is something I recommend in the course. It's great for private labeling. It's also great for arbitrage, especially the web app. So you can basically just run the web app and it'll tell you exactly how many, not exactly, but a projection of how much that item is selling per month. And the great part about that is you can then use that information to basically determine whether or not it's a good purchase and whether or not you can sell it fast enough. I recommend it a lot. Online Market 5 says, is arbitrage still alive? Yes, very much. King Snow says, you forgot to mention that some of the products are private labels and they can hit you with a copyright strike. I don't know where this comes from. This is a misconception. Just because you private label a product doesn't mean that people can't sell on your listing, number one, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you can hit with a copyright strike. Have you filed for the copyright? Have you filed for, have you filed for the patent at all? There's a design patent, there's a utility patent. If you haven't, then no, you can't. And if you have, then sure, of course you can. But the majority of private label products aren't going to have a patent. If you really wanted to protect yourself, you could search each product, but that would take a long time. So no, 99.9% of the times, the private label seller cannot hit you with a copyright strike. I don't know why people think that. Mr. Doctor says, very long and boring method. Why don't you hire someone to do your work? It's a great question. But honestly, I do kind of hire my little sister a little bit. She receives some of the packages because I'm not obviously at my parents' house all the time to get them because I don't live there. But I pay her to basically receive them, and then when I come back and see that they all stack up, I package them myself. When I was doing private labeling, and this is a little bit off tangent, but a lot of the stuff that I had to do for my one glass product, and I'll drop a card to that right now, where in a video where I basically run through, the mistake that I made private labeling one of my first products, which is actually the manual labor behind it and not taking the time into account, because I was really early on in my entrepreneurial journey. I'll also drop that in the description below. But long story short, I basically did hire her, and I hired some other, different companies to prep my stuff, but it's a hassle. So great question. But for this specifically, obviously it's always a good idea to, hire if you can and save your time, because you can scale so much faster and it's so much smarter to, you know, leverage other people's time. But for this specifically, even if you're scaling up, I would say you really don't have to. This isn't really, in my opinion at least, something where you should be hiring. But he says, very informative video. Thanks for making this a live case study. Thank you. You're welcome, man. Hope that you took some action on it. Macabayez says, you bought from Amazon and sell through Amazon? Yes. Got that question a lot. Patrick McHugh says, very informative and like your style of covering the information. Where's the video of you finding the product? So me finding the product is, I literally answered a lot of the Q&As yesterday on those specific videos. There's like 4 of them. If you want to check that video out of me actually finding the products and sourcing them from online coupon sites, check out yesterday's Q&A. If you go to yesterday's Q&A and you look in the description, all those videos are all me finding products. So you can watch all of them and, you know, use all of those. Jackie Mihal, or what is that? Says Jackal me off. Jesus. Says, you know this is against Amazon's terms. No, it's not against Amazon's terms of service. He says, you know this is against Amazon's terms of service, and when they catch you doing it, they will close your account and take your money. No, they won't. No, they won't. It's not against the terms of service. Ty Jenkins says, I just purchased your retail arbitrage course. I can't talk today. Sorry, guys. I just purchased your retail arbitrage course. What would be my startup costs to get an extra 1K to 2K a month? I get this question a lot. It varies, guys. It varies. Just take the action. If you don't believe, listen, you can think that I'm totally full of shit and this business model is totally full of shit, or any of the business models that I teach. But I sell my courses for $10. Not trying to sell you guys on any of that stuff. But all I'm saying is, whether I sell them for 10 or, you know, you go out and learn the information on your own, what are you really spending here? You're spending $2-3 test to see if a coupon code product will sell on Amazon. Once you see that it does, and you see that you can make that profit margin, it's a simple thing. It's scale, rinse, and repeat. You know, I mean, you can make a lot of money doing this if you start to realize and take the action. So take the action. You know, I can't really say, because every product has a different coupon. Every product costs differently. But hypothetically, man, if you spend $100 to $200, you could probably make that. Usually it's about 10x ROI. Paul Michael Tanjuco says, hi, Brian. Will this arbitrage method work for Canada? Yes, it will. You can source on Amazon.ca, or you can do it on the US one with Prep Center. Anishi Shandan says, hey, Brian, when I ordered items from the online retailer, such as Disney, Walmart, etc., usually the items are shipped with an invoice or other document. Amazon does not allow these kinds of things, and it could be an issue. Okay, so there's 2 questions here realistically. First and foremost, guys, avoid branded products, especially the top brands, like your Apples, your Disneys, obviously, anything like that, your Nikes, anything like that. Avoid selling those on Amazon. You will get hit with a copyright strike. I promise you that. But if you're not selling a top branded product and you're selling like a private label brand, then you're well within your rights and reason. Those top brands literally have people and just droves of corporate drones literally scanning listings all the time to try and hit people with copyright strikes, because they're so intent on protecting their brand. They probably do literally hundreds of millions, that's probably aggressive, but millions of dollars on Amazon every single month even, and so, you know, they're trying to protect their brand. So avoid those top brands at all costs. But you know, yeah, I've done so many videos, and I'll drop a card to one right now if you want, that I did recently. I'll also drop it in the description below, where I basically answer how to pull the invoice and how to give them their proper information to make sure that you protect yourself. Check that video out. Andy Chen says, I just purchased your course and it has great info. Do you have a video talking about your requesting approval to sell in some categories? Yeah, so I don't have a video on that, but a lot of people think that this is actually hard. But if you just request, I know this is not the answer that you want to hear, but just do it. Just request it. I think when I was first trying out how to request, I simply requested to get approved in every single potential category. And granted, most of them didn't work, but about 10 to 15 of them did. And so now I'm approved to sell in those categories because I simply asked. And this is something I talk about with eBay too. You know, people are always like, the number one question I get with eBay is, how can I get more listings? How can I? And my answer is, you just ask. You'd be surprised what you can get if you just ask. So yeah, just ask for approval and see what happens. Faraz Ahmed says, I'm interested in doing this Amazon arbitrage, but I don't know how to actually start it. Could you help me with the basics? Good thing for you, I have a bunch of information on this channel where I basically do this, and you can also check out the course if you really wanted to. It literally walks you through step by step, but just check out my arbitrage playlist. I won't drop that as a card because it's really easy to find. Just go to my channel homepage, go to playlist tabs, hit the arbitrage thing, and all of those videos will walk you through this process. Luke Meyer says, okay, so here's my stupid beginner question. You buy all this stuff at a discount and send it back a few days later, but wouldn't there still be the discount or same products? Wouldn't there still be the discount for that same product from somebody else when they buy it? Good question, man. No, because that specific coupon code is only relevant to the seller that you're buying it from. When you put your product on, you don't actually have that coupon code set up in your Seller Central. Therefore, if somebody else try to grab a coupon code from, say, JumpSend or you know, Vipon or any of those, you know, it wouldn't work. Their coupon code wouldn't work. So the other sellers' coupon codes don't work on your account. Makabaya says, how many tabs could I open? As many as you want, as many browsers as you have. Adam Scott says, hey Brian, how do you know when to buy a bunch of the same OA items? So that's a good question. I typically don't do that because I'm all about, you know, renting the buy box. I'm not trying to steal people's inventory. I think that's kind of sleazy. If you want to buy like 5 of them, you know, that's the max I'd probably go. 10 if you really wanted to be a dick. But, you know, I suggest going 1, 2, 3. The way that you can basically vet that is checking the sales. So I recommend using Jungle Scout. I'm not going to drop an affiliate link to it because I'm not trying to make money off you guys. But if you want to go through Jungle Scout, I talk about in the course this approach if you want to go through this. But yeah, if you see that obviously an item is selling 30 units per month, well then that's about 1 a day, obviously. So you probably wouldn't want to buy more. If you see it's doing, you know, 400 a month, well, I don't know what the math is there. Let's say 300 a month, just for reference. Well, then you know it's about 10 a day, right? So if you're selling 10 a day, then you can buy 10 because you'll know that roughly you'll sell 10 right away. So that's how you basically vet it. Depends on what their sales velocity is. All right, Adam Scott again says, when you print the merchant barcodes out, do you tape them over the original manufacturer barcode or just tape it near it? Yeah, right over the old one. Obviously, you don't have to do that every single time, only when Amazon prompts you, but yeah, tape it right over the barcode, the old one. Salma Online says, how about if you don't live in the US? Can you use a prep company or can you send it into the Amazon prep service? Yes, you can. Exactly. That's a great question. And yes, prep services or Amazon prep. One of the ones, what was the one I used to use? It was Prep, I forget what it's called. I'm not even going to try to remember it because I'll just be sitting here trying to remember for minutes. Andy2 says, hi Brian, can I just have Amazon send the products ordered to a prep center and say, yeah, same question. Yep, yes you can. Rashad says, great video. I cannot find any other video of you mentioned finding the OA products. You're in luck, man. Well, yesterday I did an entire Q&A of all those products and how I basically find them. All the video, all the description, oh my God, all the videos listed in the video from yesterday's description are me actually sourcing those online products. You can find that video, Q&A 5. I'm not sure what I'm gonna name it because I'm recording this about a week early to put out for next weekend. But all those, yesterday's Q&A, just go to yesterday's video. It's also in the description of today's video. All those videos are pertaining to me sourcing products. Christian Opal says, what if you don't have boxes? Does FedEx provide them for you? You can simply use the boxes that Amazon sends to you and repackage in those same ones. Just relabel them. So you don't need to buy boxes. Buy boxes. It's really it's cool. Can you give me your Skype? Says MD Algamar. No, sorry. I do Skype consulting if you guys are interested. I'm not trying to sell you on that, but some people are interested. They always ask me, do I only do phone consulting? No, I do phone consulting most of the time because it allows me the flexibility to do it wherever. But if I'm home and we set it up ahead of time, I don't mind doing Skype consulting. That's totally cool. Balkanska says, nice job, Brian. Can I drop ship these products directly to the customer instead of, no, you can't drop ship them because the whole purpose of it is repackaging and relabeling them. So there's no way to actually, just no, to put it simply, because I could talk about that for like 2 straight minutes. No, you can't drop ship them. You won't make the profit. James Lenner says, how do you deal with the original vendor? Say if I buy a quantity larger than 50, will they ask Amazon to remove your listing? If they catch on to you, they'll probably send you a cease and desist letter. But if you buy a large quantity plus 50 or like 50 plus, and you don't sell it fast enough, then obviously I'm sure they'll try to get you removed because they probably don't realize that you have their product. They probably think that you have somebody else's product. However, that doesn't mean Amazon will take your listing down, and even if they do take your listing down and you have the invoice, obviously you can get your listing put back up. So I wouldn't really worry about that. Like I said, check out, I referenced this previously in the video, so check that video out where I talk about how to send the invoice properly. Dorian Wright says, hey, I bought your course. What types of items should I look to sell? Well, the entire course goes in, he says, what kind of categories? There's no specific category to really look for. Obviously, every single time you're looking at an item, check the add product. That's something I talk about a lot in the course. Make sure that you can sell it, and if you can sell it, doesn't really matter the category. Just make sure it has sales velocity, and it's also something that I talk about in the course. Joshua Goriski says, I'm thinking of purchasing your course. Does this still work? Yes, it still works. Still works great, even to this day, and that was 6 months ago he asked that. Steve Keen says, does it still work? Yes, it still works. Brian Rodez says, I know you said in the video you will show and combat sellers who may have a problem with you selling an item, but what about those that report it to Amazon? So if they report to Amazon, 9 times out of 10, Amazon won't do anything about it because they don't have sufficient proof. If they have sufficient proof that they think that you're, hijacking their listing or don't actually have that product, then Amazon will take your listing down and send you, a letter to send them an invoice. But that's okay because you should have that actual item and you should actually have that invoice, which is also something I talk about in the course. So you simply send that invoice into Amazon if it goes that far, and then they'll reinstate your listing and everything will be fine. Last question, Nathan Town says, when I get items from Amazon using the coupon, do they come with a barcode already or do they come with a barcode already? Do I need to take that off? No, you never have to take the barcode off. 9 times out of 10, you won't have to put a new barcode on it, but if Amazon prompts you to put a new barcode on it, simply tape that barcode over the old barcode. All right, guys, that's the last Q&A. So that's Q&A 6. I'm not sure what I'm actually going to name it. I really appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, obviously pertaining to anything, not just arbitrage, drop them in the comments section down below. Also hit that like button. I genuinely appreciate it and lets me know that I'm on the right track. I'm really excited tomorrow to hop back in some entrepreneur, I can't talk today, oh my God, some entrepreneur insights and marketing advice for you guys. So I appreciate you watching. Make sure to comment and like, subscribe if you haven't. I will see you guys tomorrow.